From Eyewitness News, this is breaking news.
He said, I think 2 years is a long time to leave District 2 residents without leadership that they've been able to vote on. So for that reason, I'm going to move staff's approval.
First at 5, the District 2 supervisor seat left vacant by Zach Scrivener's resignation will be filled at the upcoming general election this November. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rochelle Murcia.
And I'm Michael Patterson. Today, the Board of Supervisors held a special meeting approving a resolution to have an election for the seat held on November 5th.
It's a tight turnaround with the deadline for filing candidacy at the end of this week. However, the alternative, if this wasn't approved, could have possibly seen the District 2 seat without leadership for 2 years.
So how did we all get to this point? Let's take a look now at the events that led up to today's meeting and Scrivener's resignation. On the night of April 23rd, District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer, Scrivener's aunt, called Sheriff Youngblood concerned about her nephew. Kern County Sheriff's Office alleges that Scrivener sexually assaulted one of his 4 children, which led to an altercation involving one of his children stabbing Scrivener twice. During the investigation, deputies say they found guns, psychedelic mushrooms, and possible evidence of assault and sexual assault.
In his resignation letter, Scrivener stated that he stepped down for health and medical reasons. Scrivener had previously been on medical leave since May and had been absent from every board meeting following his investigation. Today, the Board of Supervisors held that special meeting. Eyewitness News reporter Solomon Ledvinka was there and has more on the board's decision. Solomon?
Yes, good evening. There was roughly 24 people eager to hear about what will happen with former District 2 Supervisor Scrivener's vacant seat and the upcoming election in November. Now, due to the rarity of the situation, lawmakers are working closely with the County Council to make sure that they are in compliance with state laws. That tricky part is the last day to submit candidacy is this Friday. Now, I spoke with 2 attendees. One says that there's not enough time, and a potential nominee tells me that regardless of the shortened time, he is up for the challenge.
It would have been wonderful to see the board move in concurrence with having an election further out that allowed for a better, more equitable filing period with respect to other seats of the same nature that have a longer filing period than 4 days.
You got to have a fight in this. We're minimized highly in time. Yes, the decisions today to go forward was advantageous for the 2nd district, but for the persons who are going to run, it's going to cause a lot of work and a lot of time. We just got to put in the fight for it, and I'm ready to do it.
Now, members of the public asked the deadline if they could be extended, but by state law it doesn't allow for any changes. Chair David Couch said that it doesn't think that it was a good idea to make voters in the 2nd district wait until the end of Scrivener's current term to elect a new supervisor. Now, coming up at 6, I'll tell you what will happen if no one submits their paperwork in time and who would have to step in.
All right, Solomon, thank you. And today's question of the day is the Friday District 2 Supervisor candidate deadline fair for all candidates? You can weigh in, just scan the QR code, then tap on the link, or head to our website, bakersfieldnow.com/question. In our 6 o'clock hour, we'll take a look at the latest results.
And now to a breakthrough in connection to the 2023 mass shooting that left 4 people dead in the Mojave Desert.
Charges have been filed against 2 people allegedly involved, with one of those people being arrested, another still on the loose.
On the night of April 30th of 2023, deputies were called out to an RV parked in an abandoned lot. Inside was the bodies of a man and 2 women shot to death. Another woman later died at the hospital. Months later, a $10,000 reward was announced for leads.
Now, more than a year later, Ricardo Partida and Jonathan Hernandez have been charged with several counts relating to both the quadruple homicide and additional crimes that happened in the spring of that year. On July 31st, Partida was arraigned and pleaded not guilty to all counts. He's currently in custody on no bail.
Meanwhile, the search continues for Hernandez. Here's what he looks like. There's a warrant out for his arrest. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should call the number on your screen.
Switching gears now, containment of the Burrell fire grew this weekend. The fire has now burned more than 59,000 acres near the Kern River Valley. Wind conditions have been testing containment lines in the northern portions of the fire. Portions of Caliente Road remain closed. People still under an evacuation warning or order can go to the Tehachapi Education Center. And if you have large animals, the rodeo grounds in Kernville are available. And again, officials advise you to download the Genesis app to have the latest information on your evacuation zone.
And firefighters were quickly able to tackle a brush fire that burned in the mountains just west of Inyokern yesterday. The Bella fire burned more than 300 acres north of Highway 178 and west of Highway 14. This is what it looked like yesterday just after it started. This view from today shows the fire has been extinguished for the most part. The latest numbers still show the fire 20% contained. Highway 178 is still closed according to CHP's website.
And an evacuation order has been lifted for the Owens Peak Wilderness area due to that fire. This area is north of Highway 178 and south of Indian Wells Canyon Road and east of Isabella Walker Pass Road and west of West Inyokern Road.
Meanwhile, Highway 58 near Mojave was shut down briefly over the weekend after a semi-truck carrying fertilizer caught fire, which then spread to nearby brush. It happened Saturday afternoon just east of Mojave Way Station. A firefighter suffered minor injuries and was checked out at the hospital, and crews are still looking into the cause.
And hi, everybody. We're talking now about heat. That's the big thing. The main weather issue will be heat wave number 4, which is now official. Became official today as we've had 3 consecutive days of triple digits. Let's take a look at some high clouds coming into the area. From the south, you can see that, and then a lot of that's coming up from a lot of tropical activity in the eastern Pacific that we'll talk about in a few minutes. Here you can see it. It's an excessive heat warning, and all around to the west and to the south of us, it's a heat advisory through about Wednesday or so. Here you can see some of those high clouds beginning to move into the region from the south. Currently, our temperature 105 degrees with currently intense heat stress outside and unhealthy for sensitive groups air quality. 100 to 107 degrees in the South Valley, pretty warm in Arvin. Up the mountains, 93 in the Tehachapi area, and it's 103 in Lake Isabella. Over in Ridgecrest, 111 right now, so very, very hot, and the dew point's into 50s, a little bit of humidity out there. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s, well, actually triple digits through about 7 o'clock. We'll get down to 97 degrees by 8, and that excessive heat warning continues into the night. 78 for a low tomorrow morning. In the mountains, will be in the 80s this evening, down to 63 by tomorrow morning. And in the Kern River Valley, a heat flag flying there, 90s this evening, down to 75 by tomorrow morning, and then it looks like the heat will just go on pretty much all week long. But there is an end to the heat wave, already talking about that. We'll talk more about it in just a few minutes. Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Miles. A man is dead after he was struck by a truck early this morning in East Bakersfield. Police say they were called out to the intersection of East Brundage Lane and Quantico Avenue just after 5 this morning. Officers say the driver of a white pickup was heading east on Brundage when they struck the man who was walking outside a crosswalk. That man died there. The driver of the pickup stayed on scene and cooperated with police. No arrests have been made.
And a man is dead and a woman was left hospitalized after the car they were in veered off Highway 99 and into a street pole. Happened yesterday morning on the 99 just south of California Avenue. Officers say the 50-year-old woman from Los Angeles was driving south on the 99 when she somehow lost control, crashing into that pole and a tree. The passenger, a 50-year-old Compton man, died at the hospital. It's unclear how badly the driver was hurt.
Meanwhile, we are getting new details in a crash that left a man dead near Arvin Friday morning. Highway Patrol says it happened on South Edison and Herring Road when 2 drivers crashed into each other. Officers say that intersection has a stop sign for only one direction of travel. A 40-year-old passenger in the car that officers say didn't stop died at the hospital after the crash. Others involved had minor to moderate injuries.
Bakersfield police are asking for help identifying 2 suspects accused of robbery. Police say it happened around 11 on the morning of July 10th. The 2 men walked into the AM/PM on California Avenue and were caught on surveillance robbing a customer. One of the suspects is described as a Hispanic man in his 20s to 30s. The other is said to be white with shaved head and a short beard. Anyone with information should call BPD.
And a Bakersfield parolee was arrested in Tehachapi on Friday. Tehachapi police say Roberto Betancourt was arrested for allegedly stealing $1,700 in cash from a vendor at the Tehachapi Farmers Market on July 25th. He is also accused of causing $2,000 in damage to a coin machine at the Washtub Laundromat in Tehachapi just 5 days later. He was booked into Kern County Jail for grand theft and other charges.
Kern County Sheriff's deputies are asking for help in finding an elderly man who's been missing for more than 2 weeks now. Deputies say 72-year-old Stephen Ray Rennie's last known location was near Reyes Creek on July 21st. That's east of Highway 33 and south of Mount Pinos. Rennie is a white man, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. Anyone with any information is asked to call the sheriff's office.
Sea lions and other seaside animals are getting sick from an outbreak of red tide off the coast of San Luis Obispo. Red tide happens when fish eat algae that produces toxic acid. Sea lions and other creatures eat the fish, leading to the acid attacking the brain and heart. This natural poisoning can cause the animals to exhibit unusual behavior as a result.
You'll see some signs in sea lions such as frothing at the mouth. They tend to do like a head wave back and forth, and some of them will also have seizures. You'll see that they tend to be very down. They tend to be a bit disoriented, kind of not realizing where they are.
Scientists say the toxin will naturally flush from an animal's system over time. The San Luis Obispo County Health Department says all data shows the water is safe for swimming and surfing. The Marine Mammal Center warns red tide can also affect humans who eat contaminated crab, shellfish, and fish, though public health hasn't issued any advisories yet.
Well, closer to home, Miramonte's High School's FFA won big at this year's Cal Youth Expo in Tulare. Miramonte's student Colton Weatherly, instructor Josh McKenzie, and the school's mechanics program won the grand champion overall for their design and build of a heavy-duty trailer for the Bakersfield Fire Department. So congratulations to the Miramonte team and their performance at the state level. Good job.
Well, coming up here on Eyewitness News at 5, a high-speed chase down south lasted multiple hours. How authorities finally got the suspect off the road.
Plus an update from Storm Debbie in the southeastern U.S., the destruction left behind, and the impact here in Kern County.
And later at 5:30, the latest stock market crash has even the top investors on Wall Street worried. What many fear will happen next.